Hello again on Cowboy Insiders. Today, George Pickens, Jerry Jones, finally announced by a Dallas Cowboy. A Dallas Cowboy finally announced three key players in the team. The Dallas Cowboys are once again at the center of NFL spotlight under the aggressive leadership of the owner and general manager Jerry Jones. The franchise is actively exploring major roster upgrades. After falling short of Super Bowl expectations in a recent season, the Cowboys are reportedly prepared to make a bold financial commitment and blockbuster trade to return to a championship. Jerry Jones had made it clear Dallas is not rebuilding, they are reloading. Let's break down the key names linked for the Cowboys. George Pickens have emerged as one of the most dynamic and physical receivers in a league, known for his elite body control, contested catch ability, and deep ball threat. Pickens developed into a true in a pitbull. The Cowboys have been searching for a reliable, explosive complement to CD Lamb. Pickens fit that role perfectly and very perfectly. His ability to stretch a field vertically would open up the entire Dallas offense. So for the contract situation for George Pickens, if a Dallas were to acquire and to extend George Pickens' contract, the financial commitment could look like estimated extension. The money for extending his contract will be 22 up to 28 millions US dollar per year. For the total project deal, which will be 4 years, will be 90 US dollar up to 110 million US dollar. So for the granted money that will be given to George Pickens will be 65 millions per 4 years. That would place him among the highest paid receiver in NFL. George Pickens, if he extends his contract in Dallas Cowboy, will be a higher paid receiver in the NFL. Jerry Jones understands that elite wide receivers are expensive, but he also knows you can't win modern NFL games without Jerry Jones. The second player that have been announced by a Dallas Cowboy is Max Crosby, a defensive superstar. His current team is Las Vegas Raiders and position is defensive end. Max Crosby is 20 years old and is one of the most feared pass rusher in the football. Relentless, high motor, and incredible productive, Crosby consistently rank among the league leader in sacks, quarterback pressure, and tackles for a loss. Crosby signed a massive extension with Raiders of approximately in 3 years was space to short-term solution. The Cowboys structured contract to preserve a future flexibility, manage a dead money risk, and maintain a healthy salary cap outlook of the players. This allowed the front office to retain a core players, extend key contributors, and continue building through the draft without sacrificing a long-term stability. Departures were an inevitable part of the process. Some players left due to a cap constraint, scheme changes, or performance consideration, while these exits were difficult. They created opportunities for a younger player to step into expanded role and for a new additional to establish themselves. Roster turnover is a natural part of NFL team building, and successful franchises use it to a tool for evaluation rather than a disruption. From a competition standpoint, the Cowboys transfers signal a shift from a potential to performance. In a recent season, a Dallas Cowboy have possessed a talent but struggled with a consistent late game execution and postseason resilience. This year's roster construction focuses on situation football, emphasizing third down efficiency, red zone execution, turnover margin, and time of possession. These are metrics that consistently separate championship teams from a playoff participants. The fanbase has responded with a cautious optimism. Supporters recognize that off-season success do not guarantee a post-season result, but they are also see a roster that is a deeper, faster, and more balanced than in previous years. The combination of improved pass protection, expanded receiving option, stronger defensive pressure, and enhanced secondary plays creates a more complete team profile. So, looking ahead for the Cowboys or Dallas Cowboys' ultimate goal is not just to win division, but is to sustain a playoff success and contend for a Super Bowl for next year. Transfers alone cannot achieve these outcomes, but they can establish a foundation. Execution, health, coaching adjustment, and player development will ultimately determine how far the team goes. However, the current roster reflects a franchise that is aligned in vision, disciplined in strategy, and committed to winning at the highest level. For a Cowboy Dallas conclusion about the transfer, the Dallas Cowboy transfer activity represents a comprehensive and well-calculated approach to some players on different teams. By strengthening the offensive line, expanding the passing game, improving the pass rush, Cowboys related over the last few weeks, it was announced that the Dallas Cowboys will play the first ever NFL game in Rio de Janeiro in Brasilia. Later this year, the NFL announced on Thursday. This will be the third game in Brazil, but the first one over in Rio de Janeiro. It will mark the first international game for a Cowboys since they beat a Jacksonville Jaguar in London over a decade ago. Well, those have yet to be released. The game will be held in Maracana Stadium. Third date, time, and Cowboys' opponent have yet to be announced. Still, I'm sure they will find a way to make this one of the only game on TV that night so that everyone and their mother can tune on. Make sure the Cowboys draw all the numbers. I'm sure Jerry Jones has already made the call to make this happen. Heck, it might even take place at opening night kickoff game. Who knows? Brasilia is the home of more than 36 million NFL fans and is one of the league's most significant international markets. The announcement followed the NFL multi-year commitment to bring at least 3 regular season games at Brasilia over the next 5 years, reinforcing the league's long-term investment in Brazil. As noted above, the only other regular season game the Cowboys have played outside the U.S. occurred in 2014, when they faced the Jaguars at Wembley Stadium in London. Dallas won game 31-17, but 11 full seasons have gone before Cowboys have gone out of the country. Before that, Cowboy had played all international games in preseason, including games in Mexico City, Montreal, Toronto, and Tokyo. The NFL also announced the 49 and Rams will play a Marble Australia during 2026 season as well. The league has played 2 games in Brazil, Paca Eagles Chief Charger in Sao Paulo and Corinthians Arena. I think it is good things that teams are playing in other parts of the country. The only issue I have it how they schedule it. To me, the best thing would be to have the team either play the game following bye week or allow them to bye week for the following week. Heading internationally and playing this game is always hard to watch, but if the players are given an extra time either before or after, I think it will improve the play on the field very greatly. Honestly, down the Lord, I think at some point we have gone to turn a good and not just playing a game internationally. 62 years regular season NFL